Good afternoon and welcome to the final Akwaaba Yoga session for 2021. Feels like 2020 almost. It feels like it wasn't so long ago they actually started doing these Sunday sessions. But yeah, 2021 is almost done and dusted. But yeah, for Akwaaba Yoga, it's the last one of the year. Hope everyone's keeping well. My name is Mark. If you're not joining before, if you're watching on playback, and today is Sunday, the 19th of December. Morning. Yeah, we're going to go through a 45-minute flow. We're going to try and keep the energy up. But as always, listen to your body. Really enjoy giving yourself the time to come into your different asanas and to really connect to the yoga practice. And we'll be finishing up with probably an extended shavasana, which is the combination of really what the practice of yoga is about. Just comes to that meditative state. But let's get cracking. Let's stop on our mats. And we're going to start on our backs. So come lying down. Let your legs be out in front of you. Just bring your back down to the mats. Face the palms up towards the ceiling. Just lift your head up. Tuck your chin into your chest. Look at your toes. And then your chin's all tucked in, just bring your head back down. So all we're doing there is just lengthening out through the back of the neck. I invite you to close your eyes. And whilst you're here, just start to release any gripping or tension throughout the body. So let your feet just flop out, let your feet relax. Take note if you're clenching your fists. If you are, just release the grip. Maybe motion out through the jaw so you can start to relax into the jaw. Together, let's take a deep inhale in through our nose and sigh it out through the mouth. And again, inhale in. All the way to the belly, hold, and gently, slowly exhale for counts of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again for counts of 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for counts of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly exhale the breath out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Deep inhale in for counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come back into your natural breath. So we just did a very quick pranayama breathing exercise. Right now to blink over your eyes. If your eyes are closed, just start to bring the knees in towards the chest and interlace the hands in front of the shins and just start to motion the knees clockwise. So you're massaging out through the lower back. You're massaging out your sacrum and take your knees in the opposite direction. Enjoy the love you're giving to your lower back here. We're now going to come into happy baby. So taking the feet up if it's there for us. Later, if it's not the right time of the month to be raising your legs. If you prefer to keep your knees tucked in, I invite you to do so. Just take either variation. If you're coming to happy baby, then the soles of the feet are facing the ceiling. See if you can grab the outside of the shins or the outside of the feet, and you're drawing your knees into your armpits. As much as possible, try to avoid Just raising the hips up. See if you can keep your lower back as close to the floor as you can. So you're bringing more intention to the hips here. Create openness in the hips. Keep drawing your knees into your armpits. And then release. Release the left leg forward. So you're long in the left leg. We're going to get ready for a supine twist. The right knee is tucked in towards the chest. Then we're going to draw that right knee up and over the body. Come up onto the left hip. We're bringing the right knee towards the floor. It may not reach. We're just going to that point where we're coming into the stretch. Maybe place the left hand on top of the right knee. Take the gaze over towards the right side of the room. So we're twisting from the lower back here. Maybe you might hear some pops and clicks as air is released. And it starts to bring that right knee back up towards center. Give it another hug in and then switch legs. So this time we're long with the right leg, drawing that left knee in towards our chest. And then take the outside of the left knee with the right hand and draw it over towards the right side of the room. Supine twist. We'll open up the left arm towards the left side and taking our gaze over towards the left hand perhaps. Supine twist is a lovely asana to come into. Just have my back pop there. It's a lovely asana to come into if you've got lower back pain or sciatica. Just come into this and hold it. Let's come back towards center. This time we're drawing both knees into our chest once more. We're going to come into some abs before we get going. So keeping the left knee tucked in, we're going to raise our right leg up towards the ceiling. Again, maybe if it's not appropriate, given the time of the month, ladies, you want to keep your knees tucked in. You can take that variation. But if your right leg is up towards the ceiling, curl the toes in towards the face. You're keeping that bend in that left knee. Just interlace the hands behind the head. And on an inhale, we're coming up and taking the right elbow towards the left knee. And we're coming back down. So inhale to come up, right elbow to left knee, looking over towards the left side of the room. Coming back down. See if we can keep that right leg where it is so we're not swaying it all over the place. We're keeping the control and keeping the core engaged. So keep going at your own pace. Right elbow to left knee. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. For another 3, 2, and on the last one, I'm going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring your head back down. Release your feet back down towards the mat so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart. Let's place our right hand on our belly and our left hand on our hearts. We're just exploring again the openness in the hips. We're allowing gravity just to take control as the knees flop out. Here another 2 breaths. 1 more breath. And on the next inhale, let's bring the knees back up. So once again, we're facing the ceiling. We're drawing the knees in towards the chest. Give it a nice hug in. This time we're going up with your left leg. Or feel free to keep a bend in that left knee. The sole of the foot is parallel to the ceiling if your leg is up. We're taking the insoles to hands again behind the head. And on the inhale, left elbow to right knee. So it's elbow to knee as opposed to knee to elbow. So we're really coming into the crunch. Inhale to come up, exhale to come down. Inhale to come up, exhale to come down. For another 3, 2, 1. And on the final one, I'm going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to come back down. Bring the knees or the feet back down towards the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees apart. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Just feel the heart beating here. See if it's sped up. It might be the same. There's no change to your heartbeat. Then maybe when you come to do this exercise again in your own time, just increase the number of reps of your crunches. Just draw the knees back in and start to rock and roll over the length of the spine. So inhale to rock up, hover the feet. Exhale to come back. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come back. Inhale to come up. And let's come into a cheeky boat pose. So we're taking our shins, so they're parallel to the mat, parallel to the floor. We're rolling the shoulders back. Maybe take your hands underneath the hamstrings here. Maybe this is our variation today. If you're playing with balance, you can take the arms out towards the sides. So we're shining our chest through for count of 3. Count of 2 to create the balance. Maybe see if you can extend your legs for the final one. Then bring your feet down towards the mat. Just take your legs into cross-legged, just roll over and come into our first tabletop. So our hands are underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, feet, knees, hands, hip distance apart. For me, let's just come into a freestyle. So we're just maneuvering the body, the torso, any which way we desire. We're just exploring any areas of tightness as we undulate through the back. Maybe drop the hips down towards the mat. Maybe bring the bum down towards the heels to come into Balasana. Really use this as an opportunity to just take ownership of your own practice here, to explore your body. We have another 2 breaths. One more breath. And then let's all meet once again in our tabletop. From here, we're going to inhale to extend out through that left leg. So taking that left leg towards the back of the room. It's parallel with the floor. If you want to take a variation, you can drop down onto your toes. So either variation works. And on the next breath, we're lifting that right hand up and facing the palm over towards the left side of the room. We're long in the neck, so we're taking our gaze down towards the mat. And we're holding it here for a count of 3, a count of 2, a count of 1. Let's come back down to our tabletop and get ready for the other side. So on the inhale, we're lifting up through the right leg. So again, it's parallel to the floor. We're engaging through the core. The toes are curled towards the face, or take the variation where we're high in the toes, pressing the toes onto the floor, pressing the heels towards the back of the room. And then we're lifting up through that left arm this time. So the left palm is facing towards the right side of the room. For a count of 3, count of 2. One more breath. Let's come back into our tabletop. Deep inhale in and sigh it out. Together, let's curl the toes under. We're going to lift the knees up off the floor, off the mat, and start to come into our first downward facing dog. I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to walk out, to start to stretch through the calf muscles, coming high in the tiptoes and drawing the heel a bit closer towards the mat. We've got a sense of equal weight distribution between our hands and our feet. Together, let's come high on the toes. And on the exhale, we're energetically drawing our heels closer towards the mat. So we come into stillness, taking our tailbone high, our gaze is looking towards the back of the room between the legs. Long in the arms, long in the back. Together, let's come up on our toes and just jump or step forwards as we meet at the front of our mat in our forward fold. So we're heavy in the body. Sway from left to right. And let's sway ourselves to stillness. We'll come into a cheeky twist here. So we're taking our right hand first onto the outside of the left calf, the left shin, maybe the left hamstring or left thigh, if that's better. Alternatively, take your left hand to the underside of the left foot. Take a little bend into that right knee. We'll lengthen that through that left leg as you start to lift that left hand up towards the ceiling. Take our gaze up towards the hand, or maybe let your head hang loose as we pull away from that left foot or the left shin. We'll open our body up towards the left side of our room for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly release. Let's get ready for the other side. So again, choose your variation. Left hand to the outside of the right thigh, the right shin, the right calf, or just under the sole of the right foot. When you're ready, take a little bend in that left knee. Lengthen that through that right leg, taking the right hand up towards the ceiling to come into the twist. I always like to place my right hand on my lower back here. And release. When coming to some sun salutations, slowly wind up, come to a standing position, coming at one vertebra at a time, the arms, the head, it's all heavy. We get to the top, we're rolling the shoulders back face and the palms forward, lifting our chin off our chest into Tadasana, mountain pose. Our feet are hip distance apart. We're tuning into our breath once more, which is going to help us flow through these sun salutations. When you're ready, on the inhale, let's sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, taking our prayer through our chest, bending from the hips to come all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend to the knees, hands down, step the left foot back and the right to join the left. Kumbhakasana, high plank. For the first one, drop down to the knees, uncurl the toes, bend into the elbows to come all the way down. Let's press our hands to the mat to come up into a cobra. Tuck the elbows in. And on the exhale, lifting up the hips, taking the hips, the bum back down towards the heels, Balasana, child's pose. On the inhale, let's press up into our tabletop, curl the toes under, and lift up into a downward facing dog. Deep inhale in. Exhale to release. On the inhale, come high in our toes, jump or step forwards, and let's meet at the top of the mat. Inhale, hands on the shins, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Take a slight bend in the knees as we press our feet into the floor, taking our arms up high. Bring our prayer into the center of the chest on the exhale. Inhale to take the hands high. Exhale to come into the forward fold, bending for the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out through the arms. Exhale, bend into the knees, place the hands down at the front of the mat. Once again, a step back into our high plank. Let's go for a chaturanga, so rocking forwards into the toes. Feel free to come down onto the knees or bend into elbows or low plank. Press through the toes to come up for upward facing dog. Drawing the chest through the arms. On the exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Good going, guys. Let's come high on the toes. And again, jump or step forwards as we meet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to stand tall. Really breathe me on the fingers as the arms go high. Exhale to bring the hands into prayer to the center of the chest. And we go again. Inhale, take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring the shoulder blades together. Exhale, bend to the knees. Place the hands down at the front of the mat. Step back, Kumbhakasana. So falls into the toes. Chaturanga. Bend into the elbows for a low plank. Press through the toes to come up for upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl the toes under. Let's come back and meet once again in our downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale out. Inhale to come high on the toes. Let's jump or step forwards. And again, we meet at the top of our mats. Inhale to come into a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's bring our hands into prayer as we all meet one another. Inhale, let's take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips. Let's come all the way down to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to come to chair pose. So swoop the arms up towards the front diagonal. We're bending into the knees, taking the anterior tilt of the pelvis. So pressing the hips forward, taking the navel to the spine. So you can sit any lower in our chair for count of 3, 2, 1. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into the knees. Place the hands down at the front of the mat. This time we're lifting up just the left foot, taking the left heel towards the left butt cheek. So we're jumping that left foot all the way back as we get ready for our low lunge. So we're landing on our left toes, bringing our left knee to the mat, uncurled on the left toes. Once you feel grounded through that right side of the foot, let's lift the torso up. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Low lunge. On each inhale, we're lengthening up through the body. And on the exhale, we're just dropping our hips closer towards the mat. So we're coming into that lovely stretch into the left hip flexor. Again, we're not dumping into the lower back. Really focus on engaging through the core. Nice and strong in the torso. On the next exhale, let's bring our hands into prayer towards the center of the chest. On the inhale, we lengthen up, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, we're going to twist the body over towards the right side of the room. So bring the left tricep just onto the outside of the right thigh. We're aiming to keep our hands in prayer in the center of the chest as we press our palms together. And just use that resistance to open the body up a bit more towards the right side of the room. We're here for 3 breaths. We'll take a variation. If the press against the palms is not quite there for us, just feel free to release that left arm down. So we're long in that left arm. You're just placing the left tricep against the right thigh. And that might be the variation today. Here for another 2 breaths. So it's long 3 counts. 1 more breath. On the inhale, we're sweeping our arms back up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we're bringing our hands down towards the front of the mat. We're going to get ready for a half split. So let's walk the right foot a bit further forwards, maybe to find a bit more space. Start to bring the hands back. We're coming up high onto the right heel, coming to stretch into the right hamstring. So curling our toes, our right toes in towards our face. The hips are sitting just above the left knee. Explore a bit more openness in the right hamstring. Maybe walk the hands a bit further forward. We're energetically drawing our chest down towards that right shin. So we're not dropping the neck down. We're nice and long in the neck. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And let's start to soften to release out. So coming back into a bend in that right knee, we're ushering the body forward. Let's bring that right hand so it sits inside of the right foot. Sweep that right leg back as we meet in our tabletop once more. Let's curl the toes under, press our hands into the mat, taking our tailbone high, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And exhale out. Let's come high on the toes. Jump or step forwards as we meet to the front of the mats. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale to come into chair. Bringing the bum down as we sit and bend deep into the knees. Our hands are up towards the front diagonal, taking that anterior tail to pelvis for another 2. Another 1. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into the knees. Let's place the hands down at the front of the mat. This time we're lifting up through that right leg, taking the right heel towards the right butt cheek, jumping it back, landing onto our right toes, dropping down onto that right knee, low lunge, and curl the right toes. Feel nice and stable. Start to lift the torso up off the left thigh. Take your time here to really arrive into the asana. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling. So arms at either side of the ears, drawing our navel towards the spine. On each inhale, we're lengthening up through the arms. And on the exhale, we're bending or softening a bit more into that left knee. Coming into a stretch into the right hip flexor. On the next exhale, we're bringing our hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to come into the twist. So this time the right tricep on the outside of the left thigh. Taking our hands into prayer in the center of the chest, pressing the palms together to help find a bit more space to open up towards the left side of the room. Again, if you want to take the variation, we can go long in that right arm. Just use the left hand on the top of the left thigh to really help open the body up. Another 2 breaths. Another 1. Which variation we're in, let's swoop the arms back up towards the ceiling before cartwheeling the hands down as we get ready for our half splits on the left side. So maybe shuffle that left foot a bit further forward to find a bit more space before lengthening out through that left leg. We're coming high on the left heel, curling the left toes in towards the face. Slowly start to walk the hands a bit further forward just until you can find yourself coming into a lovely stretch into the left hamstring. We're going to just hold it here for a few breaths. If you want to help to open up the hamstring a bit further, start to engage through the left quad as we draw that left quad muscle away from the knee. You start to relax a bit more. You start to relax a bit more into that left hamstring. One more breath here. Start to gently soften out, bringing the left sole of the foot back down to the mat. Let's take both hands inside of the left foot. We're going to swing that left leg all the way back, as gracefully or ungracefully as we might be. We're going to arrive together and meet in our tabletop. On the in, I'm going to curl the toes under, press our hands into the mat, lift up for a downward facing dog. Inhale to come high on the toes. We're going to jump a step and meet to the front of the mat. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale to stand tall, lengthening up the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Inhale to take the prayer high. Exhale, bend to release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, take the arms back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Let's keep the pace up. Inhale, take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from hips to come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, bend into the knees and sweep the arms back up. Nice and high. Exhale, let's bring the hands into prayer. Center of the chest. And again, inhale, take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips to come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to go long in the body. Really breathe beyond the fingers here. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Last one. Inhale to draw the prayer up towards the sky. Exhale, bend into the knees. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale, let's take the arms up to the ceiling once more. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Let's release the arms down to the side. The palms are facing forwards. So we're going to come into a quick balancing pose. We'll feel nice and grounded and rooted through the right sole of the foot. So really fan out through the toes. On the in, I'm going to lift that left leg up. Taking a bend in that left knee. Slowly, let's start to swing that left leg back as we come into warrior three. So we're like a seesaw, the chest has come forward. The left leg is going back. Either take your arms into a superhero pose or bring your hands into prayer at the center of your chest. And don't worry if you drop out of it. Just feel free to come back in at your own time. We're here for another 2 breaths. One more breath. Then we're going to drop that left leg down. Taking the left foot so it's pointing out towards 10 o'clock. We're coming into warrior two. So taking a bend in that right knee. The right arm goes forward and the left arm's going back. Nice and engaged through the core. Really engaging that transverse abdominis muscle to help protect our lower back. Just find your drishti point, your point of focus at the front of the room. It might be a gaze over that middle finger. Even over 2 breaths. One more breath. Let's flip that right palm over. Come into reverse warrior. Taking the right arm up and over. Finding a stretch down the right side of the body. Stretching out the intercostal muscles here. Maybe take your left hand to your left hip for one more breath before seesawing the body forward, taking the right tricep, just placing it on the inside of the right thigh, side angle lunge. So opening the body up once more towards the left side of the room. On the inhale, let's come back up once again. Let's meet in our warrior two before cartwheeling the hands down towards the front of the mat. We're going to jump the right foot back to meet in our high plank. Place the left hand down in the center of the mat. Drop down onto the left shin. Come down onto the right heel, side plank. So taking that right hand up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the right hand, or again, give the neck a little break by looking down towards the floor. Here for another 2 breaths. If you want to, feel free to stack the right foot on top of the left leg. as we come to another variation of side plank. One more breath before bringing the right hand back down. Together we meet in our Kumbhakasana. Let's rock forwards onto the toes, drop down to the knees, uncurl the toes, bend into the elbows for a low plank. We're going to press up into a cobra, drawing the elbows in or upward facing dog. If it's there for us today. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and sigh it out. Let's come high on the toes. We're going to jump a step and meet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to swoop the arms up, all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the hands into prayer, back to the center of the chest. And let's just finish that up on the other side. So we're going to drop the arms down, face the palms forward as we come into Tadasana. We're going to take the weight into our left foot. So really fan out the toes, just feel rooted into the ground, feel the mat underneath our feet. And on the next inhale, we're going to raise that right leg up, taking a bend in the right knee. And when you're ready, let's start to seize the body. So bring the chest forward and taking the right leg back. Nice and strong through that left leg. You can either take your arms into superhero pose or bring your hands into prayer, into the center of the chest. One more breath before dropping down. Let's come into warrior two. So the right foot is facing out towards 2 o'clock. Coming to bending that left knee. Taking the left arm forwards and the right arm's back. Again, finding that drishti. Important to focus. On the next breath, let's flip that left palm over. Let's start to bring that left hand up and over into reverse warrior. And maintaining the bend in that left knee and stretching that through the intercostal muscles on the left side. Let's cut all the left arm forward, side angle lunge. So left tricep on the inside of the left thigh. We're lifting up through the right arm. Maybe place your right hand on your lower back. Again, just open up the body towards the right side of the room. For one more breath. On the inhale, let's lift ourselves up to come back into warrior two for one breath. Before cartwheeling the hands down. I'm going to jump the left foot back as we meet in our high plank. From here, we're going to drop down onto the right shin. Place the right hand in the center of the mat. Come down to the left heel. Side plank on the right side. So I open up the body towards the left side of the room this time. Left hand goes high. Feel free to take the second variation. If you want to stack your left leg on top of the right leg. For another 2 breaths. One more breath. Let's bring that left hand back down. Together, we're going to meet in our high plank. So along in the body, let's rock forwards into the toes. Drop down onto the knees. Uncurl the toes. Start to bend into the elbows to bring the chest all the way down. Let's create a little pillow for ourselves. Just take the gaze over towards the left side of the room. Come into a gentle stretch into the neck. And just switch sides. Let's take the gaze over towards the right side of the room. Let's come down onto the chin and come into locust pose. So we can take our arms behind and either side of the body, or bring your hands into interlace so it sits just above the lower back or the bum. We're going to draw the heels together so the heels are almost touching. On the inhale, which is a variation of the arms, you really can start to peel the chest away from the floor. For 2, for 1, slowly come back down. Bring your chin back towards the floor. There we go again. If your heels are flopping out, just draw them back in towards center. On the inhale, we're lifting up through the chest, through the lower belly. For 2, for 1. And slowly come back down towards the floor. This time I'm going to engage with the legs. So on the next inhale, let's draw the heels back in towards one another. Start to lift up first through that left leg. So pointing our toes towards the back of the room. Slowly bring that left leg down. Let's take the opposite side. On the inhale, we're lifting up through the left toe, for the right toe, sorry. The right shin, the right thigh. And slowly come back down. To finish up, I'm going to see if you can lift both feet off the ground together. It might be 1 millimeter, it might be 5 centimeters. Just go to your edge. So when we're ready, on the inhale, let's start to point both toes towards the back of the room. If it's there for us to bring in the arms, either come to cactus arms, or again, take your arms into superhero pose. So here for another 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring your feet down and your hands down, back towards the mats. We're taking our hands underneath the shoulder blades, pressing our hands into the mat for a cobra, drawing the elbows in towards the ribs. Let's lift up through the hips, slowly walk the hands back, bring our bums back down towards our heels. Our arms are long in front of the body. Child's pose, Vinyasa. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel your chest expanding and pressing against your thighs, and exhale it out. Let's press up onto the hands. We're going to swing the body forwards. As we take up the legs nice and long in front of us. As we started the practice, taking the arms out to the side and slowly start to wind down one vertebra at a time. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Let the head come down last. Before we finish up, let's just bring our knees back into our chest and one final hug in. Maybe take your knees clockwise, anti-clockwise. Level up through your legs. As if someone's got a bowl of lemon juice, they're about to pour it into your eyes. And start to squeeze into the eyes, squeeze into the face. Just tense up throughout the whole body. Just squeeze, 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 engage all your muscles. And then relax. Let's go for one more. And tense up through the hands, clench your fists, engage your biceps, your quads, point your toes forward. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. Invite to close your eyes here. And just embrace stillness and silence. Come back into your natural breath. For Shavasana. find movement in your hands and your feet. Maybe just slowly start to shake the head from left to right as you massage out to the back of the skull. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's bring the knees back in towards the chest and walk up into a seated position. I'm going to turn and face the camera. Just come into a cross-legged position or up onto your knees, whichever is comfortable for you. Let's just place our hands in our laps. We're sitting up nice and tall, long in the back, roll the shoulders back. Together, let's take one final breath in through the nose and gently release. Thank you for practicing. All done for another 45 minutes, maybe 46 minutes. But yeah, thanks again for practicing, for sharing the space, for turning up, support one another, for engaging socially on the socials where you can. I hope you've had a positive 2021, and I guess wishing everyone all the best for the year ahead. Done and dusted. So yeah, like I said, thanks again. Last session of the year, and looking forward to being back on the mat in 2022. Keep an eye on Instagram, and I'll make any announcements there. If you can, hit a like. That's what we were supposed to apparently say. Hit a like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the future. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for rocking up again, Naomi. Appreciate it as always. D-Man. Thank you, Lydia. Yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks again, guys. Much appreciated. I am going to eat because my belly was making a lot of noise in Shavasana. So yeah, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you in the future. Thank you, Alice. Yeah, definitely see you. I'll see you in January, Alice, no doubt. Let's make it happen. And we'll be having some mats, D-Man. Don't worry, the mats will be coming. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.